Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts. We'll do another unboxing of the breakdown of the demo. This is PaRappa the Rappa. This is a remaster that PlayStation 4 or Sony did of their old original IP back on the PlayStation 1. To start off, this is the Japan version of the game. I actually ordered the Asian version, but they sent me the Japan version. As you can see though, the game is fully in English, so even if you get the Japan version, you should be fine. The only difference between probably the Asian version is the case isn't more in English, so I would prefer the English version casing, but I'm not going to complain. The game's still playable, and that's what's important. But it does support English and Japanese. It has normal and easy. It has a regular 4x3 screen and a 16:9 screen. There was a small update that was just a very small update, but it was just simple bug fixes as it claims. Now, I played the whole game and I didn't experience any bugs, but I will say that I did experience a small delay before you press the button than when you think you should be pressing the button. Now, I do remember this back in the PlayStation 1 version, but it was a long time ago when I had the PlayStation 1 version, and I only played the demo version. But I will say that maybe that bug fixes this, but I can't say for sure. I doubt it because I think it was just internally the way the game was designed, or it could just be monitor or the screen delay, or not really delay, but sometimes I have experienced games that it's about input timing. Depending on the screen or the monitor or TV, there could be a slight difference between the when you should press it and when you think you should on the screen delay. I don't know. I've experienced certain games being a little different than that. But PaRappa the Rappa, moving on to the game, is more of a, a rhythm game. It was like one of the original first rhythm games, as well as its all original name rhythm songs. It's not like them taking a song from something and then just turning it into like Guitar Hero or something like that, or Rock Band. These were all original songs that was written for PaRappa the Rappa. And it's not the most in-depth or more nowadays gaming for us, because it's very kidsy, it's very cartoony, it's very low budget feeling for its time. Even for its time, it's pretty on the edge. But I guess the only really big complaints I have is that the cutscenes are not in HD remake. As you can see here, that they're just typical, just a normal screen, and they just shrunk it down and not taking up the entire screen so it can make it look as clean as possible. But when you get to the actual rhythm parts and the input parts, it's fully an HD remade. And it looks nice, it plays great, I really didn't have any problems. I have people reporting also that the button pressing is a little different from the original. Now, I actually physically own the original one. I just never got around to popping in and playing it. I know what the game disc works, but I was never very good at PaRappa the Rappa. But the game is a fun little game to have on your shelf. But the only biggest thing is, if you're looking at buying this or something like that, bear in mind that it took me less than an hour to beat the entire game on normal. Now, you can't really play the entire game on easy. Bear that in mind. I think you can only do the first 3 songs, and after that, you have to do the other 3 songs on normal. So you gotta play the entire game. So it's best just to learn how to play it on normal if you don't want to have to start all over again. But that's just like how some games back in the old past were designed that way, where they encouraged people to play on a higher difficulty, and usually limited those who wanted to play on an easier difficulty. Whether that's right or wrong is up to the debate, but it's just a fair warning on that front. But the overall experience is great, it feels good, it's a little challenging, but it's a good starting point for rhythm players, as well as this is a good thing to have in your collection, as well as it might be a little easier to play this version than to find the original copy of PaRappa the Rappa on the PlayStation 1. It's not too hard of a copy to find, but it can be kind of a little bit of a work, as well as finding a good condition and a complete edition of the game. I just happened to bump into it and I just picked it up. But PaRappa the Rappa is an interesting IP from Sony. It's an exclusive game that they made. He's actually been appearances in several games. Also, he was an appearance of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. He was a playable fighter character in that game. I don't know how too many people remember PaRappa the Rappa, or nowadays consider even acknowledge his existence in gaming culture. And he's not the biggest name PlayStation IP, so I appreciate the fact that Sony takes the time and acknowledges such a game of its legacy. Games like Jumping Flash and maybe even Knack and so many of the other ones on the field that I just can't think of at the top of my head right on the spot. There are several other games that Sony's developed that a lot of them just get pushed to the side, and you should never give give these older games a bad rep. I mean, a lot of them, yes, are old and have dated as well in certain fields, but they're still fun, they're still a charming experience, and also these kinds of games are just so different from the norm. That's what makes them so interesting, is that, I mean, you don't see any games like these anymore, unless it's from like an independent developed studio. Because usually, like, these games are, I mean, nowhere near what you're going to expect from a AAA budget developed side of it. But it's a fun game. I can't really recommend it, but I can't also not recommend it because it's one of those collector items more or less than an actual hard copy buy. You can get it digitally on PSN, I know that, and I know that the second one is available on PlayStation Now as a download, or it might be a download purchasable game. I'm not entirely sure. I don't do all that stuff, so I don't keep up with it. So, I mean, it's one of those games that's up to you. If you find it, pick it up. If you're not really interested, I wouldn't go out of your way, but it's still one of those cool things to have on your shelf. So like always, I will leave links down in the description if you're interested in a copy. And like always, I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye!
Yo, yo, yo! Check this out! It's party time in the house! Everybody, I'm wondering how you're feeling out there. You feeling good? We're gonna put on a show out there for everybody. Check this out. Somebody say ho! Ho! Say ho, 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 ho. Say ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Scream! Everybody say ho! Ho! Say ho, 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 ho. Say ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Scream! What you gonna do when they come? I gotta redeem. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta believe. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta receive. You gotta do what? You gotta do what? I gotta believe. Hey, yo, everybody, just check out the way I live, everybody. Yo, everybody, time to prepare and go ahead to party. Here comes the dude, and now he's running up and down the street with the Jews. Sonny's my life, she's like a dice. I can't tell which way she turns till I strike. Whatever trouble he's in, he just gets up and begins. It ain't no problem for the man. But I would do it like that, because I want it like that. No other difference is the fact. You gotta do what? I gotta redeem. You sure about that? I gotta believe. You gotta do what? I gotta receive. But most important, I gotta believe. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta redeem. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta believe. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta receive. You gotta do what? You gotta do what? I gotta believe. H to the E to the R to the O, and here comes your hero. Here we go. To the A to the R to the A. Rap was the name I rap every day. Now it's time for the Rock That Night, and let's all pump up the night. Waking up was the name of the game for me, you, and you. What's his name? He grew up in this town. Check this out, come on and bring it down. Chick on top, I got the funky flow. M-I-X, the flow into the bone. You gotta do what? I gotta redeem. You sure about that? I gotta believe. You gotta do what? I gotta receive. But most important, I gotta believe. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta redeem. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta believe. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta receive. You gotta do what? You gotta do what? I gotta believe. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta redeem. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta believe. What you gonna do when they come? I gotta receive. You gotta do what? You got that right. You gotta do what? Somebody say ho. Ho. Say ho, ho, ho. Say ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Everybody say ho. Ho. Say ho, ho, ho. Say ho, ho, ho. Thank you, everybody. And don't forget, you gotta believe. Thank you.
That was fun you all had just for me.
All right.